Imtiaz Gul, who joins me from Islamabad. He's the executive director at the Center for Research and Security Studies. Imtiaz, thanks for joining us. First, tell us about the situation on the ground in Pakistan and the flow of people in and out. How has the situation in Afghanistan affected trade and also perhaps people trying to get into Pakistan?
Well, the trade has been largely flowing across the border without any great interruption. But the actual issue is of the people who want to escape Kabul, and there have been visa issues. Pakistan has been trying its best to facilitate as many people's exit out of Kabul as possible. Pakistan International Airlines has been operating special flights in a situation in which the Kabul airport has literally been run by the American army. It's closed off to all commercial flights. This means basically denying Afghanistan daily flights. There are daily, even up to 300 overflights for which Afghanistan gets $100,000 every day. In addition to that, there are no commercial flights whatsoever. So this, and the entire burden appears to be now falling on Pakistan itself, a country which the Western powers, with the Americans and the Europeans, keep blaming for the situation in Afghanistan. But nobody is talking. Pakistani officials here wonder as to whether the entire operation of emergency evacuations out of Kabul is a motivated strategy to discredit Taliban, to create discomfort for the new government that the Taliban are trying to put together, and whether this is a deliberate brain drain, just because the Americans, the Germans, the Brits can possibly evacuate a few thousand people, maybe 30, 40,000 people who have been, they say, working for them in their missions. The European Union has been trying to get out its people, but the issue is, are these the only people who want to flee the country, and whether that is the right strategy to deprive a country, to send a message to all those people who want to get out of the country, that here are the flights available, come on, get on board, and we'll take you to America, we'll take you to Canada. So this is an extremely upsetting situation, which has brought the burden also on Pakistan, because now there are repeated calls. We're also getting phone calls and messages, a request from across the border for evacuation. But the question is whether everybody wants to get out of Afghanistan, and whether the international community should basically comply and take everybody that wants to get out of Afghanistan.
And Imtiaz, in the last week, we've heard from the U.S. and from NATO putting that burden squarely on Pakistan, saying that it is Pakistan's responsibility, that they have a responsibility to try to ensure peace and stability in Afghanistan. This is remarkable to hear, because the tone has been, well, we tried, we messed up, this is your problem now, basically. What do you see happening here?
This precisely is the duplicity, is the hypocritical attitude that the most of the Western countries have adopted vis-a-vis Pakistan. Pakistani troops did not kill 10 people 4 days ago. They did not kill 7 people today, this morning. And Pakistan did not decide to leave Afghanistan overnight, which basically led to a mayhem. And ironically, while there is a massive peace offensive underway by the Taliban, they are embracing all enemies, all avowed enemies, including Amrullah Saleh. They have declared amnesty for everybody, and a lot of them, even the person who used to be called the butcher of Taliban, Gul Agha Shergai, has also embraced the Taliban, accepted them as the legitimate stakeholders. But on the other hand, you see what the Americans and other countries did. I have been speaking with a very leading ambassador, and he said, he agreed with me that the entire evacuation plan is sort of morally incorrect, politically also incorrect, and is illegal, in the words of Amir Muttaqi, one of the Taliban leaders, because this has no legal foundation. People are leaving the country without any proper documentation. Flights are coming in on the Kabul airport. So this is a very unfortunate situation, for which now again you have to scapegoat. The only scapegoat, or the near enemy for a lot of Afghans who have been aligned with other countries, more looking towards the West and towards the eastern neighbor of Pakistan. For them, Pakistan remains the scapegoat, whereas the localized problems are the real scapegoats, like the corruption, like the one very narrow vision of the Afghan leaders, the inflexibility of President Ashraf Ghani, as well as, I would say, the geopolitical considerations by the lead countries who have been heading this entire operation of enduring freedom for the past 20 years. But see what they have done to this country.
Imtiaz Gul, thanks for your analysis.